What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to Philly with John Marks on PHLY. As always, brought to you by BetParx. Shout out to everybody watching live. We've made it to a Tuesday morning. Is it only Tuesday already? Jesus. Tuesday morning, live in Delaware Valley. Shout out to everybody watching live, our 8 a.m.ers, all of our mad chatters that join us every morning. And they say hi, and they say good morning. Good morning to everybody out there. As we welcome into the program today, courtesy of blackgritty.com. His name is Black Gritty, and he joins us. Hi,
Good
Black
morning,
Gritty.
Johnny Marks. Welcome to the deserts of Africa. I would like to take you on a trip in Egypt. I have a camel waiting for you, my friend. It is now 2,000 degrees in Philadelphia. I see a gazelle in my forefront, zebras, lions. Oh, Johnny Marks, it's hot outside. It is hot, Johnny Marks.
I don't know if the lions live in the desert, but I get what you're throwing at me. I knew there was going to be some kind of prop because when I was texting with you yesterday, I said, you know, like, when do you want to come on this week? And you're like, you want me to work in this heat? It's like, he's going to have some kind of prop.
I am at a safari right now. It is hot out here, Johnny Marks.
Well, now you have me. I'm gonna do it now because I had it pegged for later on the show, but I'll just say now. So Flyers made a big trade. We get to that in 2 minutes. The 76ers draft is tomorrow. We have all that coming up. So yeah, it's hot. I was at the pool yesterday and it's 100 degrees out. I'm like, this is great. Like, I sit by the pool, get a tan, go in the pool. It's not as hot. And we're probably there for like an hour. And to get 3 kids dressed, packed, coolers packed, waters made, snacks packed, cooler made with stuff, 4 chairs. Like it takes an hour between everything, right? And
it's like a military deployment. It's like a military deployment. Like you got to have, and then you always forget something. You got to sunscreen everybody down. Everybody just wants to get in the pool. Nobody wants to wait. You know, they're screening. Like I only had one kid, but I always had to like take her friend's place because like I don't want to deal with one kid alone. At least they play with each other, but it's a lot. And today or yesterday, the pool was probably nice. Today and tomorrow it's going to be like bathwater. Like it's too hot.
I'm in.
Days in a row. So it's like you had to get it in that day.
Well, and then so the chairs, they're backpack chairs, right? And God forbid the kids carry anything. Like, it's too heavy, Daddy. Like, just go. I'll come back out. Go. So we're there like an hour, and all of a sudden, some lifeguard comes floating down, and he's like, I don't know if he's the head lifeguard, but he's tall. Kid's probably 18, right? Tall, but he's muscular. He's very handsome. You know what I mean? Like I wish I was that guy. I would have pulled a lot more tail when I was 18, right? And he goes, everybody clear the pool. And it's like, uh-oh, what the hell's going on here? So everybody gets out of the pool, and immediately, what's your thoughts if someone says clear the pool? There was
somebody pooped in it.
Right. That's the initial thought is someone must have pooped in the pool, which is like, great. And so immediately because, you know, my daughter's 4 years old. So I'm like, hey, you all right? So yeah, they're like, okay. So I was pretty confident it wasn't her. And then they get on the loudspeaker and they're like, the pool is closed for at least an hour because of a fecal incident.
Yep.
And it's like, there you go. We knew it. So now everybody's like, well, what do we do? And, you know, like, I'm like, well, here's what we do. I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm not waiting an hour. And someone went to the bathroom in the pool. I'm out. So then what happened was the lifeguard had said puke, and they had thought she said poop. So it wasn't, someone didn't drop a deuce. Someone threw up in the pool.
That's a little bit better.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you can fish out the poop pretty easily. Because they didn't know what to do with the puke, because they're like, we don't know when we're going to be able to reopen because we can't get a hold of our manager and we don't know how to shock the pool to make it safe. I've never had someone puke in a pool before.
I don't know if I can get pink eye from throw up. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
I don't know the science, but
that's true. It's a good point. Either way, we went home and we'll try again today and hopefully no one.
Game over.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Black Radio, and let's do this from the start. Tyler popped this up there. Tyler Zulli is with us here this morning as well. But pop this up there because the draft is coming up tomorrow. The NBA draft is tomorrow. The Flyers draft, NHL draft Friday. But look at that. Our draft day party live from the Boozy Mutt. That's in Fairmount on Poplar Street. That's my old neighborhood up there. The Boozy Mutt, June 25th. Tomorrow, 7 to 11 p.m. There you go. So if you want to get out there and watch it with everybody here at PHLY, Devon will be there. I'm assuming Derek's going to be there as well. Is Kyle reporting on this? So does Kyle not go because Kyle's like because he's the reporter? He's up in
probably
New York, right? Well, anyway, it's a great place to watch the draft because really the draft starts with the third pick of the Sixers, and we'll get to that in a second. Tyler, pop up the Flyers thing that we have, and then we'll talk about the trade because I am an NHL insider, and I know people are tuning in to hear my thoughts on the trade.
Facts.
How about that? Could they not space the drafts out a week? Do they have to crowd? You know what I mean, Black Gritty?
To be honest, for Philadelphia, like I care less about the rest of the world and the nation right now. But for us, this is amazing. Crammed in 1 week, stuff that we care about. Like there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. We're actually excited for both teams. We got a little bit of hope. We've been so downtrodden. Like, give me all the hope possible. I need all the hope possible. So I love it.
When I think
I'm gonna be there Friday. I'm gonna be there Friday. So I'll be there Friday.
You're gonna be there Friday.
I'm gonna be there Friday. Black Gritty gonna be in the house.
Pop
That's not on fire, but I'm gonna be there.
Pop that buck up there. So it's Friday night, Chickies and Pete's in South Philadelphia. You can see, if you want hope, how about Bernie Perrant, who might be one of the coolest guys ever if you've never met him. And it's Broad Street Hockey. It's PHLY Flyers. You can see Bill Matz will be there. Also, Ava Graham, who does not work for ALLCITY, is right next to Bill Matz in that picture. So you may see her too. But it's Chickies and Pete's in South Philadelphia this Friday night. And let me tell you something. I've been to a draft lottery party. I broadcasted from a draft lottery party with Broad Street Hockey at Smith's in Center City. And there must have been 200 people in this little bar all there for it. And these guys were killing it. It was awesome. So it's going to be fun on Friday night. It's going to be fun tomorrow night too. So 2 events that you can get out and say hello to our friends at PHLY, all of us, including Black Gritty, who will be there. And will you be wearing that outfit right there?
I mean, I might if it's still 99 degrees outside. I'm just saying, Johnny Marks. It's hot. It's hot out here, Johnny Marks.
I don't know if it's
you never survived in the jungle in the rainforest like I have. This is how you gotta survive, Johnny Marks.
77 and rain on Friday, so you will not need to wear it.
I'm good.
Right.
I will not be frisked at the door.
And my wife is Egyptian. You would think that she'd be able to handle the hot weather. She can sit out in the sun, and she's out there for 5 minutes and she's immediately tan. And I have to work. I know you have beautiful skin as well.
Yes.
Because you are actually white. You've been by the pool a lot.
Hey,
recently.
Look, I'm just saying, your wife should have one of these. All you need is a white pillowcase. You know what I mean? You should throw this on, spice up your night tonight, Johnny Marks. Make her feel like she's in the motherland. You know what I mean? Just have a little Giselle rolling by.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Put her on the screensaver, Johnny Marks. Tell her you're on the hunt. You know what I mean? Well, you got too many kids. I shouldn't be suggesting nothing to you. Don't do nothing, John.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. No, there's not a chance of having any more kids. All right, so let's talk about it. In this portion of the program, brought to you by GLAT Hair Restoration, GLATHairMM.com, 610-980-4000. Text or call them, 610-980-4000. So I don't know if you're capable of this. We may need to welcome in Tyler for this, but Trevor Zegras is acquired by the Flyers. And this actually happened while the guys were live yesterday. Bill and Charlie O'Connor were live on the air doing their show when it happened. So what do you know about him? And are you excited?
So for me, in the limited capacity of my search, this is a great trade for the Flyers. A lot of upside. It gives energy, another center, young guy, a high draft pick, injury problems. But now the Torch is gone. You know what I mean? If Torch would have been here and you would have made this kind of move, I would have been really upset because he would have ran this kid into the ground and he would have never got a chance to get healthy. You get a high-end potential kid on a 1-year deal. He's going to want to play his ass off because he's got a prove-it year. He's only got 1 year on his contract. Put him next to Mishkov and let these kids rock. I'm actually excited. I'm just saying, like, you move nothingness. That's why you collect all these, assets, the whole process, you know what I mean? Try to be Oklahoma City and do it right instead of being the Sixers and doing it wrong. This is a high potential move for the Flyers, and it's actually somebody you can get excited about having on the team. And that's before the draft. Like, so if they go and get somebody young and good in the draft, like they could be building a young core here that you can start to get excited about. We're not holding up any Stanley Cups this year, but at least you can hopefully make a play for the playoffs and just more wins and more excitement, more jerseys sold. This is a great move for the Flyers. I'm not a genius. I don't know it all, but I like it.
Tyler Zulli, since you would be just by default, I think the hockey expert, but you watch a lot of hockey, you know a lot about the Flyers. Is this a big, because it seems like everybody says that this makes total sense and it's got to be a double thumbs up. Is this a big double thumbs up? What do you think of this move?
I think it's a single thumbs up, and I think it's a low risk, high reward type of move. This is a guy who two full seasons ago, so heading back to 2022, 2023, had 65 points in 81 games. Obviously, as BG pointed out, injuries have kind of plagued him the last couple of years. 31 games 2 seasons ago, 57 games last year. But the thing that jumped out to me last year, and it's the reason why I think he had a lot of success in 21 and 22, his shot percentage was really good in 21 and in 22. He was up over 12%, almost at 13% the one year. And it's why he picked up 23 goals in back-to-back years. The year that he was injury prone, 31 games, only had 6 goals. He was down to 8%. Last year, still didn't play a ton of games, was at 57, but was back up over 12%. So for me, if this kid can stay healthy, not only do I think there's upside there, but I think the return that they gave up was not a ton. They have 11 picks or had 11 picks. Maybe it was 13. Now it's down to 12, I guess, in this year's draft. You're not going to use them all. There's only so much room on your rosters. So giving up 45 doesn't bother me too much, considering they have 2 first-round picks. Giving up next year's 4th doesn't bother me at all. And I talked about Ryan Poehling yesterday. I like Ryan Poehling. I think he's a nice player. But if you have the opportunity to acquire an upside player, young player like Trevor Zegras, for Poehling and a couple of picks, I think you have to take the chance. I think this is a good move for the team.
If you Google his picture, Black Gritty, he looks like a guy that's going to go to the Jersey Shore once and is going to be like, oh, this is the best thing ever. And he's never going to be able to recover from it. You know how some of the young guys he's actually from New York. So it's not going to be like culture shock for him.
Yeah.
But these guys are like, they go down the Jersey Shore and you get these groupies down there, the Flyers groupies that are like looking for all the Flyers players down there. And next thing you know, there's a ton of stuff going on.
He's a good looking kid.
Yeah, he's a good-looking kid. He's got those blue eyes, man. So, but like Tyler said it, when he came out, I was reading one profile that said he was an elite playmaker. And now you're pairing him next to your other elite playmaker, young playmaker in Michkov, and you hope that these are the guys and they mesh and they have great chemistry. And like, these are the young Flyers need something, man. They need a box office. They need something other than Michkov. You just can't have Michkov out there. He'll be out there dazzling, and people will be like, you're wasting his talent. So I give Jonesy and Briere credit. They're trying, man. They are trying. They're trying to get some players here. They're trying to get people, a team that can make the playoffs and can be exciting. So, and
the draft is coming, and they're obviously tipping their hand at like, look, we're willing to work and make moves and look around the league and see what we can get. And see what we can do. Like Tyler said, they've got 1 billion draft picks. That's when you start bundling things together. If you can target a guy that you really want and believe that can help this team. And again, at this point, all I need is hope. All I want is hope. I want youth. I want something to get excited about, and that's what they're doing. So I can't complain. Nobody can complain right now.
Well, and I think this whole thing is predicated eventually. I mean, it's going to have to eventually be predicated on who's the goaltender of the future. Right now, my guess would be Sam Ersson is going to be the opening day starter. Now, the question is, who do they pair him with? Because what they got last year in goaltending play, like if they were league average goaltending play last year, they may have snuck into a playoff spot. They were so bad with their goaltending play last year, whether it was Fedotov, whether it was Kolosov. It's just like it hindered them to a point of non-competitiveness. So do they go out and acquire, like, do they make another move and get a Thatcher Demko? Do they go out, like, the free agent pool is not particularly great, but like Demko's the one that keeps coming up. Like, do they pair Ersson and Demko together? It would be interesting. Eventually, they're going to need a goaltender to solidify himself as the guy. But until that point, continue to stockpile assets. And as one of the commenters said, and I think BG, you brought it up earlier in the show, it's a one-year deal. It almost becomes a prove-it deal. And we've seen in the NFL specifically, prove-it deals sometimes get the best out of players. If this kid stays healthy, I don't think 60 points is out of the realm of possibility. He's done it before.
Yeah.
All right. So 1 thumb up. Is that a double thumbs up from you, Black Gritty? Tyler gives it 1 thumb up.
All I need is hope, Tyler. That's all I got right now. I need everybody joined in my face. They made a move. I looked at some highlights, and it got me juiced up. So I'm out here. I'm like this right now. I'm like this.
You did some
draft ain't until Friday, so we already pre-making moves. I like it.
Rebellions are built on hope, BG.
Lord knows.
I was studying film like you too, BG, on YouTube.
Hey, and that's all I can do. You know what I mean? I don't watch too much hockey outside of Flyers hockey. I'm not.
No.
I watched the playoffs a little bit, but I'm like, you know what I mean? I don't know about the rest of the world, so I had to go check the kid out. Like I said, when I looked at him, I was like, man, this is a good looking kid. Got a nice mane on him.
All right, NBA draft is tomorrow night. We mentioned the draft party before. What will the 76ers do? Before we get to that, Jrue Holiday overnight traded. Celtics trade away Jrue Holiday to Portland for Anthony Simons and 2 second-round draft picks. Really, this was a salary dump for the Celtics.
Yes.
Because Simons is on the final year of a contract, and Holiday is owed $72 million in his last 3 years, I think. Yeah. So this saves them big-time money on the luxury tax. Like, the Celtics look at it and say, okay, Tatum's out for the season. It's a new ownership coming in, and they've been paying out the butt with luxury tax because they paid Holiday, Tatum, Brown, and then they have the other players that are making big time money. So if they don't think that they can win next year, which they can't if Tatum's not going to play, why not kind of regroup right now and make a trade? Because Simons is just there because it's a salary match and a salary dump, and he's off the books after next year. And in the interim, he can, he averaged, I think, 20 points or so last year. So he's not horrible, but the Trailblazers weren't all that really good. So that's the trade last night. Your thoughts?
Jrue Holiday to the Lakers. Wherever Jrue Holiday goes, they're going to win a championship. That's what's going to happen. He is a glue piece guy. He's not going to stay with the Trailblazers. He's going to be another trade asset for a team that's close and is a contender and wants a two-way defender, a grit guy, a glue guy, and if not, he'll retire. But now that you talk about the money part of it, the Lakers are going to be a problem right now because acquiring Luka and having to pay him that money, and LeBron still maxing out his contract. Now they sold for $10 billion. They have unlimited funds to go over that luxury tax like the Celtics had been doing for years because Jeannie Buss was reluctant to overspend because it's a family business. It's a mom and pop. She didn't want to spend that money. But a new inflection of $10 billion, they're going to be out there trying to get one more chip before LeBron retires. And I can see Jrue being one of those guys they can just go and snatch real quick and give a couple of young guys to get that. But either way, wherever Jrue goes, they're going to win a championship, whatever team he ends up on.
That's a great point. It's amazing that he was once a Sixer, right? You have an abundance of guards, and you're going to draft another one here probably tomorrow. But Jrue Holiday, the leadership you could use on this team for sure. All right, so I went early this morning and I saw a mock draft. So ESPN.com put out their next mock draft, and no surprise who they have the 76ers drafting. It's VJ Edgecombe, and here's what they wrote. They said Edgecombe appears to be in pole position to hear his name called at number 3 because of his unique talent, but also because Ace Bailey's clear determination to avoid teams in this range, putting the 76ers in a difficult position, potentially selecting someone who clearly does not want to play for them. While sources say Edgecombe appeared nervous during his private workout in Philadelphia and did not shoot the ball particularly well in an unnatural one-on-one setting, he made a strong impression in interviews and meetings, something the front office values more highly. So there you go. And it goes on to talk about it's not like a seamless, you put him in the backcourt with Maxey and McCain. They're going to have to figure that out right there. So let's go back for a second. You've been very, very adamant that Ace Bailey should be the pick at number 3. Has his behavior changed what you think the 76ers should do at 3?
The only thing that's changed my behavior is he threw out a pitch at the Mets game. That's the only thing that bothers me. He seems like he wants to be a New York kid, and there's Nets talking all this kind of stuff. Here's my thing. He needs a new agent, somebody who's going to do him right. I'm tired of living in the Philadelphia life. I gave up Jrue. I had Williams. I drafted Noel. I could give you a list. Fultz. I can give you so many people that we've drafted that have just been trash pandas because we thought we were going to outsmart somebody in the last decade and a half. If the whole nation tells me that Ace Bailey is the third best player, I want the third best player. I don't care what his attitude is. I don't care what his problem is. His attitude isn't right. Joel Embiid's late for practice, was eating cheeseburgers on the court before games and not playing anywhere and crying like a little punk and trolling everybody on the internet, okay? I don't care. Paul George hasn't won anything. They give everything in the world for Paul George. Has moved all across the nation, and every other team he's been on has won a championship except for the Clippers. The Indiana Pacers got to a championship. I am sick and tired of these people out here trying to. What's somebody who wants me? Shut up! It's Philadelphia. Nobody wants you. Thank you, Bryce, for choosing me. That's why I say that. He's the only player that had free will and came here and took the money. And yeah, he took high money, but Paul George. I'll only come to Philadelphia if you pay me the highest, maxed out with the most years, even though I'm 92 years old.
Yeah, he didn't want to be here. You're right.
What's the guy's name that's on our team now? It's like our fake president, GM coach.
Fake president, Elton Brand.
Elton Brand deal. A Chris Webber deal. That's the only reason people come here. So don't tell me if you didn't want to be here, why would you take him? Because I got him under control for 3 years and I'm trying to win a championship.
But how does that work out when you bring in players that don't want to be here? It hasn't.
So I have a 1 year window to even get to an NBA Finals or an Eastern Conference Finals. Tatum's out. The Pacers are down. The Knicks are going to have a new coach and things are going to change. And all I keep hearing is, well, if Joel Embiid's healthy, it's the year for the Sixers. That's the same thing as the Cowboys saying it's our year. For the last 6 years, if I hear if one more time, get me the dude that is the best player available. And again, you're getting paid, kid. You want to be annoyed and be mad about it? Shut up and dunk this ball. At least I got a 3 year window. That's how I think about Johnny Marks, as opposed to trying to, you're out here looking at a B-class model and trying to tell you that she's a 10. Oh, what you think? Oh, this kid can be really. Shut up. I want the best player available.
There you go. There he is. So listen, hold that thought, because we'll look at the rest of the East. So I have power rankings for the NFL post mini camps or post OTAs, and then the way too early power rankings for the NBA after the finals. Where are the Eagles and where are the 76ers? And then we'll talk about the Sixers and their chances. They're honest and true chances next year of winning an NBA Finals. All right? That's coming up after this. Philly with John Marks, PHLY. All right, so check it out. We are back tonight. Off night last night. Back in Houston. Ranger Suarez on the mound. Ranger Suarez. Harry would have loved to say Ranger Suarez. Game props. Bet them on the BetParx app. Like Philadelphia to win and to score first tonight. That's a $25 bet. Pays $48.75. So we have our BetParx Parlay of the day later. How about that combo right there? How about that parlay? Win first and score tonight's $25 wager, $48.75. You can also bet player performances like pitching, pitcher strikeouts, home runs, and more. Live betting's better on the BetParx app. Plus, World Soccer. Chelsea plays at 9 p.m. tonight at the Link. Check it out. There's always another way to win on the BetParx Sportsbook and online casino app. The only app I would ever recommend to bet on sports and to play all my casino games like blackjack, roulette, craps, poker, baccarat, and hot online slots. New users get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Go to betparx.com, download the app right now, and enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino at your fingertips. You must be 21 and in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for the BetParx app. You love to play, you play to win, you bet BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Listen, if you're in pain, right, aches after a pickup game, old injuries that flare up because you're more active in the summer, your back, your knee, we all have them. We've all had them, right? So what do? If it's something that's not allowing you to do what you love to do, right? Like if you're not going for that run or if you're not doing whatever, you don't have to live like that, right? Rothman Orthopedics gets you back to your summer game. That is their mission. Visit rothmanortho.com/PHLY to book your appointment today and get back to what you love. Pain-free. You don't have to live on ibuprofen. You don't have to live on Motrin. You don't have to stop what you're doing. You don't have to ask for another cortisone shot. Don't do that. Get it taken care of. You can be pain-free. rothmanortho.com/PHLY. Get all your information. Book your appointment today. Hoo-ah. All right, we're back. Philly. Tyler Zuli's in the house. Is in the house. There he is. What are you eating over there?
Huh?
What are you eating?
You don't want to know. It's a terrible meal for breakfast.
I do want to know.
Swedish meatballs.
Why is that a terrible meal?
Because it's breakfast time.
Yeah, it doesn't. Bro, listen. I am the best thing to eat in the morning are leftovers. Something you made the night before.
Yeah.
Like don't get me wrong, I would love to have eggs and bacon and toast, but if I have something that's in the microwave that all I have to do is hit a minute on the in the fridge and put it in the microwave for a minute, bam, I'm all for it. So I support you.
When it's over 90 degrees, I live a real simple lifestyle. I meal prep. I cook after 10 o'clock. and I buy lunch meat and I make sandwiches during the day. I'm not cooking on the stove for nothing during the day. Like, I'm just not, you know what I mean? And for the people in the chat, I apologize. I'll get a little too hot. So I got to cool off. You know what I mean? I apologize.
You're sweating.
Sixers got me going. A little too hot out here. I got to cool myself down. I'm overheating, Johnny Marks.
What's your go-to sandwich when you get the cold cuts?
Oh, so right now, you boys having a Primo's turkey and ham and cheese sandwiches. I'm doing the double decker, and sometimes I do the triple decker, and I toast the bread, so I make it like a club sandwich. You know what I'm saying? And when I get real fancy, I pre-cook my bacon slices and let them dry out. Like, so, I mean, I have a bacon turkey club ham. It's amazing, John. Little mayo, little mustard. You know what I mean? Throw some chips in there sometimes. I got a sour cream and onion chips. I got plain chips. But that's the life I'm living this week, man.
Sour cream and onion chips.
Got my bread from Licio, so I got like loaf bread, and I got like this torpedo rolls too. You know what I mean? A little less on that pack. Oh, Johnny Marks, you don't get this big for nothing, Johnny Marks. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm also hot. You got to stay hydrated. You know what I mean? At 32 ounces every hour, Johnny Marks.
You said it, not me, PG. Do you like Lebanon bologna, or is that a white person thing to eat?
I like Lancaster beef bologna. That's my favorite kind of bologna. When I was a child, every day I'd get off the bus and I was staying with my grandparents. I'd get off the bus. I'd have a bologna and cheese sandwich waiting for me on the table on a Kaiser roll every single day. My grandmother had a sandwich waiting for me when I got off the bus on the table. I'd come home from school, sit down, have that sandwich. So whenever that's why I do an L, because I forget what kind of bologna it is. L's for Lancaster for love, because I love it. So that bologna is, you can fry it. It's amazing. So that's my jam. Boy, I'll roll up the bologna with some cheese and just have bologna cheese. Johnny Marks, you got me. I gotta go get some bologna now, Johnny Marks.
I'm hungry. All right, we got to finish the show, so I gotta go eat something. All right, so I mentioned this before. So the Sixers, Edgecombe. You agree Edgecombe looks like it's going to be the pick? Would that be your prediction right now? So let's say they draft Edgecombe. And I don't know, maybe they sign Grimes. It seems like that's something they want to do. I don't think Yabusele comes back. But for the most part, the core of your team is the core of your team, right? Where would you rank the 76ers in terms of a power ranking? So ESPN.com put out the way too early power rankings after the NBA Finals. Where would you say the 76ers would fall on
for the East,
that list?
No,
the entire NBA. Of the 30 NBA teams, where would they fall? And Tyler Zulli, I want your answer on this as well.
5th.
The Sixers?
Yeah.
All right. We have an answer of 5th. Tyler Zulli. Philadelphia 76ers for next season.
For next season?
Yes.
12th.
You both are way off. Way off. Not 5th, not 12th. So I'm trying to see. Here it is.
Who's closer?
All right. So you ready? Tyler's closer. So 1 OKC, 2 Minnesota, 3 Denver, 4 Cleveland, 5 Rockets, 6 Pacers, and that's without Halliburton. He's going to be gone for the year.
Crazy.
Well, and ahead of New York Knicks. Like, all right, I get it. They just beat you. You don't have Halliburton. He's the best player. What are you doing? That's stupid.
Yeah, that's
6 Pacers, 7 Knicks, 8 Warriors. All right, with Jimmy Butler for a full season.
Okay.
Lakers 9, Clippers 10. So really, before I go on, this is what they're looking at what it's going to be like next season, right? They're not saying they're not playing if Embiid can play, say, if that happens. 11 Pistons. 12th are the Celtics without Jason Tatum, and they just traded away. And this is before the Jrue Holiday trade, so maybe that changes. 13th, Orlando Magic. And I think Orlando's being underrated.
I think Orlando's been underrated too. This list is terrible.
14, Mavericks. 15, Grizzlies. 16, Bucks. So let me ask you this. Who would you rank over any of these teams right now with the Sixers?
Again, the reason that this list is flawed is because you're taking teams with injured players when you know they're going to be decimated, and you're putting them higher on the list, but you're not giving a potential healthy Joel Embiid, which is what everybody claims to have, and go, at least Joel's going to be able to start the season. These other guys aren't going to be able to play all next year. So that doesn't make sense. Then you get the Memphis Grizzlies. They're out here with Pistol Pete. They lose their guy every year too due to injuries. I'm looking at the whole list is terrible, Johnny Marks.
I can't say that the Sixers deserve to be ranked over any of these teams yet.
No, 17. So when you went to the top 10, I 100% agree with you. There's no team in that top 10 that the Sixers are better than.
No,
they're not better than the Pacers.
They're not better than the. Well, I don't know. I don't know if they're better than the Pacers. Do they play defense like the Pacers? Do they have a coach like Rick Carlisle? Is Embiid likely to be healthy? This is about Embiid. This is about his availability. This is about Paul George being broken down. Period. That's what this is about.
I understand, but their best player is not going to play all year next year. That's what I'm saying. I know that Joel's always hurt, but at least he's going to start the season. This is all off of hope and hope he changes.
All right, forget about the Pacers. I agree, it's ridiculous.
Dillard's out the whole year too.
But they have Giannis and they have Doc. They have an elite head coach. Black Ready. Spurs 17, Miami 18, the Atlanta Hawks 19. Would ESPN.com rank the Sacramento Kings ahead of the Philadelphia 76ers? They have Sacramento Kings 20. Your Philadelphia 76ers 21st. In the NBA power rankings. Your thoughts, gentlemen. Your thoughts.
So I'll go first. I'll say it really quick. So I'm a loser because I've been in people's comments the last 4 days talking about, if Joel Embiid's healthy is the new we them boys for the Cowboys. And so this is our year for the Cowboys. Every time you say if Joel Embiid's healthy, it's the same thing saying this is our year. We sound ridiculous. But this list is absolutely an embarrassment and a travesty. I don't even have belief and hope in my team, but that list is ridiculous. Tyler,
your thoughts?
Listen, there's one team that stands out to me that you mentioned, and it was not like it would be a huge move. We're talking about moving from 21 to 19, but the Sixers are better than Atlanta. I know that they weren't last year because a record tells you that they weren't, but the Sixers are a better team. And if we're assuming health with some of these teams, we have to assume health with all of these teams, or health for what we know.
But who on the Hawks is injured?
Nobody. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you're assuming health.
You do, but you don't assume health. Why would you assume health?
Well, then because then you have to play the understanding that some of these teams have lost guys for the year, like BG said.
But that's being factored in, and they're still putting them where they are. They're factoring in that Joel Embiid is not going to be healthy. They are predicting in this power ranking that Joel Embiid is not playing 60 games. He may play 30 games or 40 games. They could be wrong, but that's where they are. They don't believe Joel Embiid is going to play. To assume health is ridiculous. You can't assume health on this team. So honestly, I think Paul George, I look at Paul George as being a guy that they kind of shut down because they knew they weren't going anywhere. I expect Paul George to play more next year. I don't know if he's going to be more effective next year than he was last year.
And why would you think Paul George is going to play more next year? He's been injured the last 4 seasons. He's missed all kinds of games. Okay, you know what? This list is right. We suck. We're trash pandas. We're 21 until we earn some kind of respect. Because absolutely, matter of fact, we suck. Why am I getting mad for a team with Daryl Morey and they just do everything wrong? Oh, God. And you want a guard. We got Maxey McCain, and you want to tell me you want to go get a guard. We need another big guy. We need an Ace Bailey. We need a potential Kevin Durant on this team. Because the other guys, Paul George has never done anything in his life besides play LeBron James to a game 5 in the postseason in Indiana. He's never done anything else in his life. But PG, my God.
So, the way that I look at this is if they think that they're the 21st ranked team, they're saying that they don't think they're a playoff team next year. Now, you're not splitting it 10 and 10, but 20 teams make the postseason. If you consider the play-in tournament the postseason, 20 teams make the postseason. Right, so it's 10 and 10, and then 8 get in. This list is telling you that they don't believe, they think the Sixers are going to be a lottery team again next year, which I don't think is true. And this isn't, I'm not even going to say assuming health or barring health. If Joel Embiid plays 45, 50 games, they're probably a postseason team. Now, I'm not saying they're a 2 seed, but I think they're a 7, an 8, a 9. They're too talented not to be, assuming that you get even half of a season out of Joel Embiid. This list tells you that whoever put this together thinks that they are a lottery team once again.
Embiid doesn't play. I mean, I would predict right now that Embiid plays enough games, the Sixers make the playoffs, and then it's a matter of do they win a series or not.
Oh, right? My God.
I mean, maybe they make it to the second round. But if you look at the odds in the East, I'm on BetParx right now. Cleveland's your favorite, plus 275. Knicks plus 300. Orlando plus 400. So just because these numbnuts on ESPN.com think one thing, the betting odds are different. The Celtics plus 500. The Pacers plus 1,400. Like, they put the Pacers at 6 because they're trying to tip the cap to what they did in the postseason. Halliburton's not playing next year. So they're not winning anything.
Halliburton this was one of the most boring, legendary playoff series of your life. The guy had 5 game-winning buzzer-winning shots, like in a series, in a playoff run. 5. Like, if you didn't have him on your team, you wouldn't even have made it out of the second or third round.
Right.
So not having him on your team, what are you doing next year? Nothing. He was clutch. As much as everybody was on Brunson's nuts because he's a New Yorker for being clutch, Halliburton was out here destroying people late in games.
Yeah, they like for 2 weeks straight, they had the same argument of he's not really a superstar, right? Like, that's what they were talking about on the dumb shows.
Yeah.
And you can't have that discussion unless he's performing like a superstar, which he was doing, you idiots.
The thing with that is maybe not, but right now he's playing like one.
Yeah,
so
like
for the next 2 weeks, this conversation is stupid. If you want to revisit it in the offseason or heading into next year, fine. But like that fodder of, oh, is he a super? Maybe not. But right now, he's a stone cold killer when it comes down to the fourth quarter, and he is lighting teams up in the fourth quarter when it matters most. And
Tyler,
that's the story.
They're having that conversation because they have to fill 2 hours every day, and they're lazy and they don't want to have real analysis. And that's the easiest thing to do, which is be like, he's not a superstar. He's not this. He's not that. Like, who cares? All right. So there's that. All right. So let's pivot to the Eagles power ranking, Black Gritty. This is courtesy of Pro Football Talk, their post-minicamp power ranking. Where would you say the Philadelphia Eagles are on this list? Mike, and this is Mike Florio's list as well. Where would you say the Eagles are?
4th.
Incorrect. Tyler, where would you say the Eagles are?
So I have always held the belief when power rankings come out after a title, the title winner should be ranked number 1 until the season starts. So I've said that on years that the Eagles won the Super Bowl, on years that they haven't won the Super Bowl. I believe they should be number 1. I think they are going to rank them number 2.
Mike Florio has ranked the Eagles number 1. So I threw you for a loop there, Black Gritty. You thought I was going negative. And here's what they say, and this is where we can get happy. All right? It's number 1, the Eagles. The rich get richer, and a new dynasty could be emerging. Oh, the D word, dynasty. And you know what? I'm comfortable saying it because there's nobody that watches this team. And honestly, there's nobody in the NFL that doesn't look at the Eagles as the favorite to go back and win it again this year. It's hard to do back-to-back years. We all know that. Blah, 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 blah. You can Milton Williams and the people that make up opinions just for engagement that are saying like, oh, well, they've lost too much. You can't. You're not going to win. You lost Milton Williams and Josh Sweat. Oh, screw you. This team is primed and ready to go back to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl this year. And damn, it feels good. So
I'm happy that someone has some common sense because we're doing a sequel. We're back by popular demand. I'm going to be using that Muppet meme at the beginning of next year because it is true. They're going back to back. They're winning the Super Bowl. And the things I've seen other rankings where they've got the Eagles 5 and 6 and 7. And it's like, oh, they lost so many defensive players. And I'm like, you're knocking me down that far for Darius Slay? Like, really? CJ. Oh, okay. Because he's out here in the media talking crazy and reckless. The more he talks, the better the move looks. Every time he opens his mouth, it looks like a smart move by Howie Roseman because as much as you love the guy on the field, he missed a lot of open hits. A lot of touchdowns were scored on him.
He's a stone idiot with his behavior. Just straight up.
And I have Jalen Carter now to be the enforcer. Before I need an enforcer. Now I have Carter to do that. And all these young guys, oh, man, it's just so good, Johnny Marks, to be where we're at. And as far as the dynasty is concerned, as long as, Cooper keeps his head on straight and what's his name? Saquon Barkley reels himself back in. These two have been wiling out this offseason. They have been in these streets. I'm in these streets too, and I look over and I see both of them cruisers flying by me at 55 miles an hour and a 25 mile an hour zone. I'm like, they're out here. So hopefully the party, the Super Bowl party hangover gets reeled in a little bit, and we can get back on track and win that back-to-back Super Bowl.
So if I had to ask you guys, who do you think is the most pressing loss that the Eagles had this year? Who would you say?
Honestly, Slay. Probably.
That's my answer too. It's Darius Slay, I think.
Yeah.
I think they're going to miss Slay more than we realize, because Slay was really good last year. And it was kind of a bounce back year, because I think it was 2 years ago he wasn't particularly good. And we were talking about, moving on from him. I thought Slay was really good last year. I think losing Darius Slay is going to mean something, whether it's Adoree Jackson, whether it's Keely Ringo, whether it's moving Cooper DeJean to the outside. Like, I think losing Slay is going to be a problem. Outside of that, and I've raved about CJ's play before. Outside of that, I think they've lost guys that they can replace. I think they can replace Josh Sweat. I think they can replace Milton Williams. I love Milton Williams. I've talked about Milton Williams for 3 years now about being this type of guy. But I think they can replace him. John, you and I talked about 2 weeks ago, and I said we were running through the most important people on the defense. And the first, 4 or 5 guys that we named were guys that are here, guys that are on rookie deals, or in Zach Bond's case, guys that are locked up to long-term extensions. This defense isn't going anywhere at the top. Can the bottom rise to take the fill in the spots? That's a question that you certainly fair to ask.
Right.
But I think this team is poised to be in a listen. Dynasties are hard. Winning it back to back is hard. Getting there back to back is hard. But this team is poised to be successful again, and I think not just again, but I think for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, the defense may not be as good as they were last year, but it's. I mean, I've heard people saying that they could really drop off. Stop. Why would anybody believe? I mean, if you have injuries in key spots, okay, like then you can maybe see that. But
Sure.
All right,
the Eagles are our top 5 defense next year, no matter what.
Yes.
No matter what.
Chiefs 2, Bills 3, Ravens 4, Lions 5. So that's the first NFC team other than the Eagles. They have the Commanders at 6.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. See, this is why I hate how the world works. Again, you have this discussion about Halliburton because he's hitting these late game shots and he advances them. I just told you, if you take him away, they don't go anywhere. If the Bears aren't one of the worst teams in NFL history, giving up that Hail Mary, they wouldn't have been in the position they were. There were 3 games that were just played against terrible teams that they were gifted wins, and they roll into the playoffs and they get a Lions team that have like Johnny Marks and me out there on the line, and they beat them and they think they're somebody. They're going to get humbled. The sophomore slump is coming so hard for Jaden. I can't wait till his world gets rocked. I can't wait.
I tend to agree with you that they're going to take a step back. I don't know if that sophomore slump comes for Jaden Daniels. The kid's a stud.
Yeah, I mean, C.J. Stroud had it last year.
I think Jaden Daniels is better than C.J. Stroud, though.
And you know what? Stroud, if you really look at it, he really didn't have much of a sophomore slump because he still put up big numbers or whatever. But like the perception is that he wasn't as good last year as he was the year before. You know what I think of Jaden Daniels. I think he's unbelievable. I
hate him. And
absolute stud.
He's doing a slow bow. You see, Debo's got the same belly I got out there. You think that? Shut up, Tyler Zulli. I don't hear anything positive.
Dan Quinn's a good coach too. He's a good culture coach.
He is a good coach.
I think they're a playoff team.
Yeah. And they're going to lose to the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Bucks are 9. Rams are 7. Rams are legit.
Rams might be sneaky good this year.
Yeah, listen.
I mean, they were great. I shouldn't even say sneaky. They were good last year.
Yeah, almost beat the Eagles in the playoffs.
God, man, I can't stand it. The Rams are the girl at the bar at 3 a.m. when you're drunk and you think she's hot, and when you wake up in the morning, you realize she's not. But you were drunk and you thought she was. Every year, the Rams come out here, they go 1-5, get on a hot streak, win 6 straight, get in the playoffs. I'm supposed to be scared of Stratford. Oh my God. Every single year, they get the brakes beat off of them for 90% of the season, back into the playoffs, and some reason I have to jump on their jock. They are trash pandas and 1 hit away from not having their old-ass quarterback beating them. Stop hyping other people up, Tyler Zulli. They suck, and they're nobodies.
Nobodies.
I don't think they suck. And quite frankly, they were the only team in the postseason that gave the Eagles any kind of trouble last year.
Because they were in the snow. The Rams haven't beat the Eagles in the last decade. I mean, everybody, we go out there. This is our home game against them. I hate the fact that the Rams are sometimes they haven't beaten us in forever. We dog walk them all the time. They had a game in inclement weather. Balls were dropped. If A.J. Brown would have caught a touchdown in that corner pass, it would have been a whole kind of different game. The Rams suck. They won one Super Bowl. They got lucky.
They're physical. They're physical in the lines too. I like their defense. I like their front seven.
That JV guy, he is good. Shut up. Let me compliment people. I'm tired of you, Zachary. I'm tired of you giving out props. It's the middle of summer. I don't want to hear nothing. It's hot.
Yeah, what are you? You go be a Rams fan, Zuli? You should go be a Rams fan.
Yeah, man.
You're not allowed to speak.
Let me cool you off.
Opinion.
All right, you're saying that on the equipment. You got like thousands of dollars worth of equipment over there.
Hey, when you rich, baby, you know what I mean? It ain't nothing to replace it to a baller, baby. You know what I'm saying? I got back.
So coming up, Phillies back tonight, BetParx Parlay of the day, and a lot more. Philly with John Marks, PHLY. Why? All right, let's talk about GLAT Hair Restoration. That is correct. If you've noticed your hairline, right? I just got recently I got a new driver's license picture. Well, my last birthday. And I always like to compare and be like, all right, like, how do I look last picture? And I don't know why I used to do this, but I used to try to look as bad as possible. My buddy Casey Boy from the Preston and Steve show he would have a beard and he would like just shave this really disgusting mustache when he would get the picture. And like, I kind of was doing the same thing. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get a fresh haircut from Razor Bar this time before I get my driver's license picture. And I'm like, you know what? That looks good, right? And the hairline was looking good. And it wasn't that long ago. Maybe it was like 10, 15 years ago where you look at the picture and you're like, damn, I lost a lot of hair in those 5 years, right? And that's normal. You get older, you lose hair, but you know that you don't have to lose your hair like that, right? So if you're losing your hair right now, GLAT Hair Restoration, GLATHairMM.com, 610-980-4000. So I had hair restoration. I got my hair back, and I wasn't like bald. I was losing my hair, and I needed the gaps filled in, and I got the gaps filled in. Results are amazing. But if you're starting to lose your hair, or you're like, you know what? I don't know if I want hair restoration. I want to stop the hair from falling out. I want to stop the thinning. GLAT Hair Restoration, innovation, science, everybody. 2025, there's so many different ways that GLAT Hair Restoration can help you with your hair. Keep the existing hair that you have with GLAT Hair Restoration. Reach out to them, text them. You can text them right now. 610-980-4000, 610-980-4000, or GLAT, GLAT Hair, MM.com, GLATHairMM.com. All right. Flooring. You know I love flooring. I have beautiful hardwoods upstairs. I have laminate down in my basement. And it can make such a big difference in your home with the look of your home. Maybe you have a rental property. And you're like, I got to get new floors, but I don't know if I want to. Empire Today are the experts. That's why you want to speak with them. Or go to empiretoday.com/PHLY. You know why? Because they bring the showroom to your home. So you're not wasting time. You're not going out, feeling pressured, uncomfortable. You're in your home, in your space, with your furniture, with your lighting, with the color of your walls, so you know what the flooring is going to look like in your home. They take precise measurements. Everything that you need, all your questions are answered, and you're getting all-inclusive and upfront pricing. And you can save $350. Use the code PHLY at empiretoday.com/PHLY. But again, they bring the showroom to your home. Free and home estimate. You can get installation scheduled as soon as the next day, and they're answering all your questions. That's all they do is flooring. The Empire Today professional's not leaving your home and then going and trying to sell a toilet to somebody else, right? That's all they do. So they know what they're talking about. They know everything. They're with you from the first time you contact them until your installation is complete. The entire way, you don't have to worry about anything else. Don't go to the big box stores and buy the flooring, and then you have to haul it away, and then you have to find a contractor to do it. One visit to empiretoday.com/PHLY takes care of it all. And again, save $350. empiretoday.com/PHLY. Hooah!
Hooah!
Hooah! We are back. Philly with John Marks. Since I said Dynasty last segment, what's the best 80s drama? Because they were almost like they were not soap operas, but it was a true drama. The dramas today are like SUV, SVU, Law and Order. That's not real drama.
Was MASH one of them?
MASH was, I think, late 70s, early 80s. Okay. But that was also like a comedy too.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
So Dallas would be the number one on
Dallas. Yes.
which was very with J.R. Ewing and Who Shot J.R.
Yeah, Who Shot J.R.
And then Dynasty
would
be also on my list right there because that's what my mom was watching.
Yeah, my grandma was a Dallas person. I told you she used to watch the Golden Girls, and she wouldn't make me go to bed, but she'd make me like lay on the couch and turn my back to the TV so I could listen to it, but I couldn't watch it.
Right. Yes. It was spicy. Hill Street Blues. Great theme. Again, all these have great themes. Falcon Crest, which I would say if you watched it today, you probably would be amazed at how bad it is.
Falcon Crest is terrible.
Lenzer Lamas doing his best impression of an actor in that one. What else do we have here? L.A. Law. I was a fan of L.A. Law before ER came along. L.A. Law was 10 o'clock on Thursday night on NBC. So there you go. All right. Phillies, World Series.
Phillies win the World Series.
Houston tonight. Mets came in. Mets weren't playing all that well. Phillies took 2 or 3. I'm very happy with starting pitching was good. Abel has kind of regressed almost every start here, but he still doesn't seem like he's outclassed. We'll see what he looks like in the next 2 starts before you figure out what you're going to do with him.
And to be fair, the Mets are a good team. I know that we just dog walked them. They've been losing a lot of games. They have a stacked roster. So somebody young like Abel giving up something to that kind of team, I'm not going to jump out the window and be like, get rid of the kid. But,
Correct. So that Houston, Tyler, I put this in Slack yesterday, if you can pull it up. So a big question is, what are they going to do with Andrew Painter? And if you've noticed, it's went from, mid-July, he's going to be back. He's not going to be using the bullpen. And I still don't think he's going to be using the bullpen. But now it's very been July-ish. And now it's kind of So now, and let me know when you have this, Tyler. So now Rob Thompson was asked about this. It was during the Mets series. So he's asked, and this is courtesy of Tim Kelly's Twitter. He's asked about Andrew Painter and when's he going to be here. Here's Rob Thompson.
How much have you seen Painter to this point? I mean, obviously you've seen video, but how much have you seen him? Do you have a handle on what he is now as opposed to what he could be in July?
Not really. I mean, I've seen the tape. I've seen him throwing spring training games a few times, but actually once. That was the game he got hurt against Minnesota.
Is there a connection there?
I hope not. But I've seen his BPs and things like that. I'm just going off of a lot of times what other people tell me, what they report to me. And, I think the poise is very good. The composure is very good. He stays healthy and he's pitching well, then he deserves to be.
He's more working on durability right now, I guess.
Yeah, making sure he's healthy.
Do you stay in contact with him more than you would with a AAA player?
No.
There you go. So more or less, he's got to earn a promotion, Black Gritty, to the bigs. And here's why Rob Thompson says that. In June, his ERA is 5.68 in 4 starts. In May, he was good in May, but he has not been good. His last 4 starts, 4 innings, 4 runs, 5 innings, 6 runs. He had a 5-inning outing rule. He gave up 1 hit and didn't give up a run. And then he went 5 innings and gave up two runs. No reason for alarm or anything like that. But I can tell you this, and I went back and I looked at Aaron Nola and Cole Hamels because they're the 2 names that were first-round draft picks and really kind of chugged through the minor leagues. At each level, they more or less dominated. And when they came up, they were ready to stay. Andrew Painter hasn't done that. And it's fine. He's coming off of Tommy John. He hasn't dominated AAA pitching. In fact, he hasn't been great. He's had a bad June. So at this point, with the pitching that they already have, if you were trying to get him in the rotation, you were really trying to squeeze him in more or less because he's Andrew Painter. They don't need him. So I don't need him in the big leagues as a starter. And if they want to make him a reliever to bring him up, fine. But Rob Thompson, I think, said it best. He's got to earn his way up here. And right now he's not doing it.
How old is he?
22, I think.
At some point.
22.
Whatever. I'm not even going to talk about this.
Just turned 22.
I've been angry so much today because of Tyler and you. It's more Tyler than you. But at some point, let the kid play. I got to see him. I'm tired of getting my pump primed and nobody's letting me release. I'm tired of it, Johnny Marks. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's the nicest way I can put it.
But they are letting him throw. He's not pitching great in AAA, so bring him up to the big leagues and have a 7-man rotation?
Yeah.
No.
They keep messing with his head. They're telling him, oh, we're going to bring you up the line to him. He gets down there. He's a little depressed. He wants big league chicks. He's out here in this AAA weather, sweating his balls off for no reason. And he's looking at people like Abel out here giving up nukes. And he's like, I can do that. Why can't I be up there? So, yes, he's upset. And I want him on the team. Bring him up, Johnny Marks.
Tyler Zulli, PHLY Phillies. Your thoughts on Andrew Painter?
My thoughts on Andrew Painter haven't changed. My thoughts on Andrew Painter are when he's ready, that's the time. Like, I don't need to rush the kid because he's a highly touted prospect. If he is pitching well, then I'm absolutely willing to move him up. And for me, the thing with highly touted prospects, stats don't matter. This is really going to sound insane. Stats don't matter as much as stuff, poise, command, the way that he works, individual at bats. Like I can live with, okay, he was working on his breaking ball and he gave up 2 home runs because he left it up in the zone type of stuff. Those are the type of things like in spring training I don't care about. And then in AAA, I think if you are progressing, I don't necessarily care about. But if he's not ready, which it seems like he's not quite ready just yet, I'm not going to let him I'm not going to overexpose him to something that he may not be ready for. I think the stuff is there. There's no question about it. Fastball has life. Breaking ball is good. Good extension down the mound. He's 6'5". He kind of gets up on you in a hurry when he releases the ball. Like, I think all of the intangible stuff is there. I'm just, I think it's an allowance of him to continue to grow and mature at a rate that works for him. And I get it. There are people, I know Pat Egan's been on this train for a while. It's like, he's 2 years removed from Tommy John, let him throw, and they're letting him throw. He's throwing pitches. He's throwing innings. He's consistently going, 5 innings or so most starts. So at this point, I think it's just about the continued growth and maturation of a 22-year-old kid. And I've said this pretty consistently. I think now with how he's looked in May and June, I think the timetable more likely is next season.
You have said that, and I agree with you. He has not pitched since 2022 before the season, right? And he only has 5 games above single A before the season. Remember, because everybody thought he was going to be in the big leagues, and he got injured. That was during spring training. Then he had Tommy John. Then he didn't pitch at all last year. He's pitched in the Arizona Fall League and stuff. But and I don't want to concentrate too much on stats. His command, like a lot of times after Tommy John surgery, it takes time for the command to come back. And he's been walking a lot of guys, which typically wasn't something that he did in the minors. So, and guess what, Black Ready? If they were to lose 2 starting pitchers because of injury or whatever, guess who's on the first bus down from Allentown? Andrew Painter. It's not that I'm going to say, no, you can't bring him up. He's not ready. They just, like, right now, who are you putting him in the rotation over?
Johnny Marks, do you see that little mark on Tyler Zulli's eye? Do you want to get roughed up too?
Yeah,
do you want to get roughed up too, Johnny Marks?
Is that
Stop
a pimple?
Talking to me like this.
No,
I will fight you guys.
I think I scratched myself in the middle of the night last night because it wasn't there when I went to bed, and it was there when I woke up.
I blamed it on the baby, and you just ruined my good story to threaten Johnny Marks. Johnny Marks was feel fear.
Who knows? It may have been him. He's doing this thing now when he goes to sleep. He needs like physical touch, but he doesn't want to be like corralled. So he just puts his hand on your face.
Yeah,
when he goes to sleep.
It's like I got a puppy.
I think I scratched myself in the middle of the night.
How did I get hurt? And the dog just scratched me. Like, oh, the dog did it. I don't even know how it happened.
Hold that thought. If you're watching on TV, slide on over to allphly.com. We're in overtime. All right. Well, there you go. So that's the latest on that. We have to do and by the way, my daughter punched me in the eye this morning. My nearly 4-year-old. Oh no, you have no idea. You have no idea what she did. You have no idea.
I told him, I was like, it's coming. They're going to be jumping on you when you're sleeping. They just run up and knee you in the stomach, and they're just dying, folded over.
Nothing makes me happier when she wakes up in the morning, because it's daddy. It's never mommy. The first thing in the morning, it's daddy. You know why? Because daddy gets up every day with the kids of their life. And she gives me a big hug, and she's so sweet. But when she doesn't get what she wants, and what did she want this one? I don't even know what she wanted. Orange juice, and I'm like, you're not getting orange juice unless you eat something. She wasted 3 things. So now she just starts destroying stuff. So she'll run over and she'll clear off like the end table. And so I got to grab her. And I'm like, no, you're not doing that. Boom, right in the eyeball, man. Right eyeball. Boom. Nailed me. Little brat.
So my daughter went through the slapping phase, and same thing. I told her, like, look, you can't have any more sausage. She slapped me. And I was like, yo, don't do that. I was like, when do we start doing that? And I went like this. And she started crying, right? Now I was separated from her mother. I had her for 3 days. Everything was fine the whole rest of the weekend. I walk in the door. As soon as the door opens, Mommy, Daddy slapped me. She didn't ask me anything. She put my daughter down. I was like, how dare you? I was like, first of all, get out my face. Don't you put your hands on me too. She been hitting you all week and you just let her get away with it? I was like, show Mommy how I hit you. It's tears in her eyes. She goes to her mom and goes, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And I didn't just slap the kid. Like, ask a question. My daughter tried to get me beat down.
Yeah,
she held it in her heart a whole weekend, trying to set me up for
She
pain.
was ready.
Yeah. Oh, man, she's an actress, born and raised. Oh, man, come on now.
All right, let's get to our BetParx Parlay of the day. All right, Zuli, you're going to lead us off. You've been on fire. What do you got?
BetParx gave me money yesterday. They gave me 17.5 outs on a guy who hasn't pitched more than 5 innings all season long. Unsurprisingly, Paul Blackburn only got 14 outs yesterday because he wasn't pitching 6 innings. And so that was a pretty easy win. Now, they don't have this line posted yet, but I based on what I'm assuming and what I'm kind of seeing elsewhere, I'm going to the Yankees and Reds game tonight. The storyline of the Yankees and Reds game tonight is Chase Burns is making his major league debut for the Reds. Hard throwing righty, good stuff. Really excited to see what he's got. But the guy he's facing is Carlos Rodon, who is a strikeout machine. Now, he's given up some home runs over the last couple of starts, given up 5 home runs in his last 3 starts. But the Reds strike out at about 9 times per game, 21st most in baseball this year. The line for Rodon for most of the season has been 6.5. My assumption is it's going to be 6.5 again today. If it's not, we'll reevaluate. But my assumption is it's going to be 6.5. I'm going to take the over in that. He's just been a strikeout machine this year. I think if it's anywhere into the 6.5 range, I don't care what the odds are, I'm taking the over. If it gets to 7.5, we'll reevaluate. But my guess is it's going to be 6.5, and I'm taking Rodon over 6.5 strikeouts.
Also, just a side note to pat myself on the back, I did clear a nice little $400 after the championship because I took OKC in the second round to win the championship, and they did win the championship. I lost my bets for OKC in 5, but I did win my OKC overall bet, so I can't be upset. They won. You see that guy put $1 million on it and won $8 million. Life is good. I guess you got $1 million just to go throw around. But I'm taking Trey Turner again tonight. 2 hits. Trey Turner's been on fire. I hate him. I yell at his defense, but there's certain people I can't be nice to. I can't be nice to him or Bone because I feel like if I am, they're going to cool off. So I got to keep calling them trash, but still betting on them and taking the money.
All right. I like the Astros tonight on the money line minus 152. Framber Valdez, if you remember it in the World Series, he had his hands are so big and he was gripping that ball up and he was sweating like a pig and he was putting it all over the ball. And it was like, hang on a second. He can't be doing what he's doing. Yeah. And he was putting the rosin on it. It was creating some kind of just disgusting cake.
Swamp balls.
Yeah, he sure was. Typically when the Phillies are on a little bit of a roll, now you need the day off, you go to Houston. And I think Rangers great. I would look at the under 7.5, but I think the Astros win the first game of this series, so I would take the Astros.
Valdez has struck out 26 in his last 3 starts, including a 12 and an 11 spot. So high strikeout rate over his last couple of starts for him.
Phillies love to strike out too, so that would make sense.
They're better this year right now, Jerry Mars. They're better.
They are.
Much better.
Bryce also hasn't been playing and striking out a lot, so he'll be back at some point. Bryce Harper. All right, blackgritty.com. What else you got going on this week? Anything?
Hey, like I said, Friday at Chicken and Pete's draft party. Flyers doing big things. Big things.
Do you sign everything, not just flat objects? You'll sign for the fans?
Yeah. I'll sign some Golden Globes.
Okay. All right. Tyler Zuli, what do you got coming up on PHLY Phillies today?
Yeah, so I think we may do a deep dive into Brandon Marshall a little bit, who's been really good since coming back from injury. And it may be a little bit of an apology tour. BG, you're allowed to do it, I promise.
Yeah.
I may have you on and you can do your Alec Boehm apology tour one day.
Yeah, look, my threats of life get people lined up. You know what I'm saying? When I pull this thing out, you know what I'm saying? People get scared, Tyler. The chat's rooting for you.
I think we might dive into Brandon Marshall a little bit more today.
All right. Very cool. Guys, have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching. We're back tomorrow live at 8 a.m. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, commenting, watching PHLY throughout the day. Anthony is live right now. BG, go to blackgritty.com for merchandise and
all the fun stuff. We're going to be doing.
You can hire him for bar mitzvahs, Sweet 16s, things like that.
I saw you doing a birthday graduation party. I saw you out here in these streets doing parties.
Unfortunately, I didn't get paid for it, but that's my neighbor who asked me to do a show from the graduation.
We love the kids. We love the kids.
Love the kids. All right, everybody have a great day. Switch on over to Anthony. We'll talk to you. See you.
We all silly like the mayor.